Hello, this is Jimmy Vlahos once again for LockeSmithPolitics. Today we'll be discussing how Barack Obama is indeed not a new breed of politician, but indeed the same old Washington insider. So, to the news. Today we have some very interesting insights into Barack Obama's political nature. First of all, I think many of us can recall back in 2008 when Barack Obama was running for president. He had a very famous promise, which was that he would not raise taxes on the middle class. He said anybody making over making under $250,000 would not see their taxes increase by a dime, I think is what the exact quote was. Yes. This is from CNN.com. If this was Barack Obama in 2008. If you make under $250,000, you will not see your taxes increase by a single dime. Not your income tax, not your payroll tax, not your capital gains tax, no tax. No taxes, says Barack Obama. Really? Because today, Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, comes out and says, well, guess what? There's a new global tax on stock transactions. That's right, all of you that own stocks, which is a lot of people that make under $250,000, my family included, are going to be taxed on them now. So, it says here that House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, I'm sorry, this is from CNS News, by the way. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi endorsed the idea of a global tax on stock trades and other financial transactions, saying the estimated $150 billion in annual revenue from such a tax could be used to help fund more stimulus spending. So basically, Barack Obama finally, or people in Barack Obama's administration, have finally come to reality. They finally realize that if you want something like healthcare reform or more welfare benefits, you got to pay for it. So someone has to pay for it. There has to be some sort of tax, right? Nancy Pelosi doesn't stop there. She goes on. The House Speaker said that a transaction tax could be imposed in conjunction with congressional efforts to divert funds from the Troubled Asset Relief Program, also known as the TARP Fund. You may have heard of it. With funds from both going to fund a second stimulus package. So, the tax that you're going to be paying on your stocks now, in conjunction with leftover money from the TARP fund, are going to go into not back to you in the form of a tax credit or a tax cut, but rather going toward more Washington spending in a second stimulus package because the first one failed miserably and is failing miserably. The first stimulus bill, which was $789 billion, was signed into law by President Barack Obama on February 13th, 2009. Alright, so, and she goes on, she says, I believe the transaction tax still has a great deal of merit because it really is a source of revenue that has really minimal impact on the transaction, but a tremendous impact on helping our needs. Isn't that so typical Washington liberal bullshit? Isn't that so typical? Don't worry about it. It's a small little fee. You don't need the money anyway. We do. Give it to us. You're too stupid to know how to spend your own money. Let's give it to the government. We'll take care of you. No, it's okay. Just go away. The patronization of the American people by the political left knows no bounds. And to hear this sort of thing, I mean, it incites me because I know exactly what this is about. People always, Rush Limbaugh got it right in his CPAC speech when he said liberals are cruel, because they really are. Minorities, women, none of them could have done it without the Democratic liberal base in America, which leads me to my next story. Harry Dirty Reid, Dirty Harry Reid, compares opponents like me and like you, compares opponents of healthcare reform to supporters of slavery. Yeah, I'm speechless. I'm sure you are too. Allow me to read you the story. This is from FoxNews.com, December 7th, 2009. This is Harry Reid discussing or commenting on people that opponents of the new healthcare reform, Obamanomics, abominism, communism, whatever you want to call it. Instead of joining us on the right side of history, all the Republicans can come up with is slow down, stop everything, let's start over. If you think you've heard these same excuses before, you're right. Those bastards. Reid said Monday, when this country belatedly recognized the wrongs of slavery, there were those who dug in their heels and said, slow down, it's too early, things aren't bad enough. Arrgh. He continued, when women first spoke up for the right to speak up, they wanted to vote. Some insisted they simply slow down. There'll be a better day to do that. Today isn't quite right. Oh, he's really tugging at my heartstrings now. He goes on even. When this body was on the verge of guaranteeing equal civil rights to everyone regardless of the color of their skin, some senators, like Strom Thurmond, a Democrat, yeah, not a Republican, resorted to the same filibuster threats that we hear today. Alright, here's the deal. So first, Obama, here's the timeline. First, Obama says, no new taxes. Nope, I'm gonna take over 1/6 of the private economy. I'm gonna expand the role of government, add 111 separate new bureaucracies. I'm gonna pass a almost $800 billion stimulus package, and then try to pass another, and I'm not gonna raise a single dime in taxes for anyone making under $250,000. That rhetoric sounds awesome. But then Timothy Geithner, his Treasury Secretary, goes, not so fast, big guy. Just crunch the numbers and it doesn't look too good for you. This is George Stephanopoulos on ABC News doing an interview with Timothy Geithner, Treasury Department. And he says, Geithner was clear that he believes a key component of economic recovery is deficit reduction. When I gave him several opportunities to roll out a middle-class tax hike, he wouldn't do it. We have to bring these deficits down very dramatically, Geithner told me. And that's going to require some very hard choices. You know, these Republicans, these conservative assholes over here, they're making our life difficult. They're making your life difficult too. And so because of them and some other things like us being really crappy, no common sense Washington insiders, yeah, our accountants screwed up, and so now we have to raise a small, little, won't affect you much tax. So don't worry about it. It's going to raise $150 billion. Don't worry about it. Well, you should worry about it, and I'm going to tell you why. In the same CNN story, talking about the, in the same, it was the CNS story, CNS News, even the, I mean, this, by the way, this is a global tax. It's not just within the United States. The American version, H.R. 4191, introduced by Representative Peter DeFazio of Oregon, would levy a separate tax on all stock trades, future contracts, swaps, credit default swaps, and stock options in an effort to tap the trillions of dollars of such transactions. A $150 billion tax on financial transactions will fall on millions of hardworking Americans who are saving their future through 401k plans, mutual funds, pensions, and other saving vehicles, wrote Representatives Michael McMahon of New York and Carolyn Maloney of New York, and also Debbie Halverson of Illinois. Yeah, but it will also, I mean, it may potentially save their 401ks, but they're not going to have any money in their 401ks or in their mutual funds or in their pensions if you suck it out through taxes and through these huge increases in Washington central government. It doesn't make a damn bit of sense. This is the conservative reaction to this. This is simply not true. A tax on stock transactions would affect every single person who owns and invests in stocks, from small business owners to senior citizens. Democrats and liberals are killing this country.